Hello and welcome. This is Rasha and let's talk. Today's video is about lifestyle and we are going to talk about present simple and how to use it to talk about our daily habits. We are also going to talk about advice, how to ask for advice and how to give advice. So let's get started. This is a conversation between Sarah and Kate. Hi Kate, you don't look very happy. What's the matter? I don't feel very well. Maybe you should see a doctor. I did. She gave me this questionnaire to fill out. Oh dear. Why don't you let me help you? Yes, that's a good idea. Thanks, Sarah. Just a reminder, you need to use the present simple when you talk about your personal habits or something that you frequently do or usually do. Present simple is to use the verb stem with I, we, you, and they, and we add s to the verb or es or ies with he, she, and it. Of course, we form a question using do or does, and verb to be, we use verb to be without do or does. I am, you are, and he or she or it is. If you need to know more about present simple, you can watch my video about present simple. It is available on the channel. Okay, here is the first part of the questionnaire. It's talking about exercise. You can ask, are you an active person? Yes or no. If you are an active person, do you have any active sports? What are they? Or what do you practice? And how often do you practice it? And how long do you spend playing law or walking or going swimming or watching TV and so on? You have here a list of activities and exercises that you may do, like go to the gym, go jogging, go swimming, okay? Or if you are not an active person, so how long do you spend sitting at a desk or watching TV or playing video games or using your cell phone, okay? And so on. Now talking about food and drink, you can start by asking, tell me about your eating habits. Do you eat regular meals? What time do you have breakfast or lunch or dinner? What do you usually have for breakfast, for lunch or dinner? And how often do you cook at home or eat candy, eat late, skip a meal, eat junk food, and so on? You have again lots of options, and you can form the questions, okay? Moving on to sleep and relaxation. Are you getting enough sleep? You can ask, do you, and use the chunks on the other side. Do you go to bed early? Do you sleep for 8 hours? Do you wake up feeling tired? Do you need an alarm clock, and so on? How often do you? Again, you can use the chunks on the other side. What do you do to relax? Or what do you do to avoid stress? Okay? And you can answer the question. Of course, you can always use adverbs of frequency like always, usually, sometimes, occasionally, rarely, or never to express how many times you do this and to answer the question of how often. And of course, we use these before the verb, any verb, but after verb to be. And if the sentence is in negative, we use it in between. We use it between do or does and the verb. Answering the question how often, you can also use every day or once or twice or 3 times, 4 times, any kind of number then times, other than of course 1 and 2. A day means every day, a week means every week, a month and a year the same thing. And this of course comes at the end of the sentence. Moving to the end of the conversation, you can say your score for exercise It's terrible. I think you need to join a gym or something. Yes, but it's so boring. Well, why don't you walk to school instead of taking the bus? Yes, that's a good idea. I will try that. And again, you can replace the word terrible by very poor, pretty poor, not bad, quite good. Okay? Then you give your advice. You can use should. I think you should do so and so. Let me show you some techniques of how to give a piece of advice. The most common way, of course, is you should or you shouldn't. And we can use ought to. You ought to do something. You can also ask, why don't you do something? Or how about doing? My advice is to do. I think you should do something. And of course, if I were you, I would do so and so. Have you thought about doing so and so? It might be a good idea to do so and so. And the conversation should go like this. You ask a question like, what do you think I should do? Or what do you suggest? What would you do if you okay? And the answer could be anything of what we mentioned earlier, like I think you should do so and so, maybe you should do so and so, why don't you? If I were you, I would do so and so. Now I'm done talking, and it's your time now to practice. And don't forget, practice is very important, especially when you work on your speaking skill. So again, you should start a conversation and try to record for yourself, and you can do it yourself individually, or you can ask any family member, maybe a friend, to share with you the conversation. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed that and it was useful. Stay safe.